So we're going to talk a little bit about how to set up for flying effectively and look at some of the software. So we've got the drone set out here. I've gone ahead and put the battery on and the tank just so we can do a demo. You can see the blades are still folded on, but it's started so we can operate it. And so if we come over here and we look, I've got the base set up. And so one of the key things with the base is you want to set it up where it's not going to get hit. You also want to be sure that you are setting it on a high spot near your field so you get good range reach from your base station. When you're setting it up, if you take a look at your base, you're going to see you've got a bubble level. And you want to make sure and adjust it so that you're getting right in the center. And so you can adjust the legs and get your bubble exactly in the center of those squares. And the reason for that is if you don't, literally the levelness when you fix your base station sets the level plane of your field. And so if you were to set it off at an angle, say like this, what's going to happen is you have the potential for your drone to fly and think that that's level, and going this way it's fine because it's going to be going up, but when you come this way it's going to go down and you could run right into the ground even though you had all your mapping perfectly set. So we've gone ahead and hooked up the base station mushroom top here for the system. We've gone ahead and turned it on. Do a long touch, then short touch. You can see the lights are on, and you can see we've got it set up. So this one has already been paired to our controller, our phone that's got the controller, and we're gonna go ahead and undo that, but go ahead and set that up. Get the system set there, then you can lock down the machine. So now it's set, and then you would make sure that it's someplace where you're not going to get bumped, tractor, or any of that before you go ahead and fix your location. So here you can see the drone set, and so now we're ready to look at the software system. So we're logged in, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the flying process. So as you are in your menu here, you can go up to the top, go over to devices. The first step is going to be to go ahead and get our base station fixed, and so unfortunately I've got a little bit of a slow network at the moment, and so it's taking a little bit of time to load, but you can see here your devices. And so first thing we do when you set up your devices, and we'll go over this in another video, is getting your devices set up as their appropriate roles. And so like for example here we've got one named base station, and we'll go ahead and click on that one, and you'll see down here in the left corner there's a button called settings. So if we click on settings, it brings us over to the base station, and once we've got our base station set and leveled like we talked about, we want to go ahead and set setting datum. Then we're going to go down here, and what we always pick is low precision. Low precision is the correct base for the type of flying you do on field crops. So we've selected that, and you'll see that it says collecting low precision points. You can see it right here. That is indicating that it's collecting the satellite connections to fix its base station, and so that process takes longer or shorter depending on the number of satellites and the rest that's there. And you'll see now here under mode that it says fixed. And so we've now set the base station properly, and we can now leave devices and go back to where we want to begin mapping. And so we would go here back to fields, and so you can see the number of fields we've mapped in the past, and you can also see our current location. So if we wanted to go ahead and start mapping, we would create a new field down here at the bottom. We would hit plus, and you want to use a survey, not AI recognition. And we would begin looking at the style of field we're going to be mapping. And for this video, we would only be doing a standard mapping map. We would name the field test 1. Go ahead, and we're using an AB style of flight pattern. And so we've connected it. So you'll see it says rover connected. So one of the things that's important as you go about setting up your drone, you set up your base station and you do the fix, then you need to make sure that your mapping device is set and mapped. And so you can see here it says connect rover. So we go ahead and connect rover, And
rover
that's
disconnected. Connecting rover. Rover connected.
so now it's connected, so we know which one is the rover, which one is the base. You can switch that up. So now we could go ahead and start mapping. And so on another video, I'll show how that process goes. You can see here in our video that the base station and the rover are really the identical setups. It just has to do with how you set it. So here is our rover, our mapper. And so we actually carry that, and it's turned on and set. So we'll begin to use that as we walk and do our preparations around the field. So we'll go ahead and start walking with that. And so we would start making an outline. And so every time you want to make an A-B point, you're going to go ahead and click this green button at the bottom. Here we're back on, and we've got
Distance is too close to last record points.
an error showing because I've already put an extra point in. So every time you hit the green button at the bottom,
Record boundary point.
it's going to put a boundary point in. And so as you're walking around something, you can continue to take those points. And if you're going in a straight line, there's no point in making points. It's going to go direct A-B between those points. But if you're going around something, like for example,
Record boundary point.
I'm going to go walk around a hedge, along the edge of a hedge. And so when I make a position change, then I need to make sure that I'm marking that point. So as I walk,
Record boundary
if I'm
point.
walking in a straight line, it's fine. I won't make another mark until I reach
Record
a
boundary point.
change in direction. If you're going around, say, a center pivot, you're definitely going to be doing a lot more points just because you're going to be getting that curve right
Record boundary point.
as you go around, and the lines are drawing in between. So
Record boundary point.
I'm going around and making this space.
Record boundary point.
So you can see, we'll go ahead and zoom in here. You can see we've made a square, and we're going to go ahead and complete that as our map space. So we finished that. So now that we got the area mapped that we wanted to fly, you can see here some yellow lines. Those are the AB lines. Those are the flight path lines, and we can actually change all the settings. If we come down here and we click on the settings, you can see you can change the spray swath. You can change the boundary distances. Note there on boundary distances and safety, you really want to keep that at least 1.5 meters. 2 meters is a bit safer. It's from the center of the drone, not from the edge. And so if you make it too narrow, you can actually run into something there. If you come here, you can see those lines right here, the yellow lines. If you tap any one of the line segments on the side, you can change the direction that it aligns to in your flight path. And so for this situation, I'm going to go this way because I want them to be parallel with that field. Obviously, this is a very small test field that we've mapped. And so now that that's laid out, we've got the width set, we've got the lines made. We can go up to the top corner on the right, click upload, and upload the field. And once it's uploaded, we're then able to create the task for actually flying. So you can see here, that's now gone green. And so now we can go up into the top corner, go up to operations, and go ahead,
Control was exited.
go ahead and we can create a new task. So if we go here to the top, then come down to new task, we create it. We're going to create this one as test 1. We come down, we're going to say we're spraying wheat. We're going to spray 4 hectares. We can put other details if we want. We hit confirm. Once that's loaded, then we can actually select that field or that operation out of our operation. And typically for me, I'm going to set that under the date of operation. So for me, that's what naming program we do. And so you can see here's test 1, and I've pulled that up. Now there's no field attached to it. So what we have to do here is we actually have to go and assign, we have to add a field to that. And so we can go and look at the fields that are mapped and go assign that. You'll see test 1 field is here. We can go ahead and confirm it. We've now added it to our test 1.
No container.
To our test 1 project. Now it's giving me a no container error just because I have waited a while and turned off the Bluetooth on the cap of the drone tank. But so now you have your task here, and you can actually see it on here. You can go ahead and load it to fly, and now we're ready to fly. And so that's really the process for going from setup to being ready to fly in the practical side of things. If you don't know how to go ahead and do your pairing of your devices, you can look for other videos that we've done on that subject, and hopefully this has been helpful.